for the 5-day forecast. This is when, my good friends, we will have Mr. Mark Willie. We will have Mr. Aron Jones. We'll also have Sai Safi. I am Shaun St-Amour, and this is time. Pull out your calendars, bring your pens, bring your napkins, whatever you need to record another amazing week in the world of high performance builds. And I see them all here, so let's bring them in real quick, and we will give you Friday. Can you believe it? Mid-March. We're counting down the days to a couple of cool events. There's one, Mr. Dragonhead, and there we go. There we go. That was the fastest ever of bringing in 4 amazing amigos to do the 5-day forecast. And
what up, St-Amour?
If you guys got the script, are we just gonna dive into it? No waiting around.
Script and rip, baby. Script and rip.
Woo! Mark is waiting for uno second. Dos. Tres.
Trying to switch my background. Oh, that's a weird one. I don't know what that is. They changed again. Anyway, sorry about that. Yep. Waiting for nothing.
No, all good.
Trying to think of my intro. I
know. I didn't give you much, Mark. I'm sorry. I was drawing a blank this week too. I just thought we were all excited about JLC, and I thought that's.
Is it still Women in Construction Week?
Well, we didn't really do a good job last week of announcing it. So if you wanted to give a little love that way, so I added to the calendar for 2026 because I felt bad.
So after last week, there's no more Women in Construction. It was only a 1-week thing. That's weird.
Yeah. So technically, Saturday is also Women Construction Day. Then they had the full week to do a bunch of stuff, and yeah.
So we're just gonna make the change for everyone. We're gonna go and call this Women of Construction Month.
Yes.
Because maybe you didn't see it coming, and it's official, like a referee with a whistle.
Hey,
I like it.
You go.
Okay. I'm ready now.
Hands up, folks. Here's your 5-day forecast in 55 seconds.
And for those of you that think you may have missed Women in Construction Day or week, you didn't, because this is officially Women in Construction Month.
On Monday, check out what's going on Offsite Dirt's events page. And then, have you got Mark's book yet? Have you got it? Also, it is Mass Timber Monday.
Right after that, it's Tuesday. What do we do on Tuesday? We go to the IG Live to watch the Shaun St-Amour do the Experience Passive House Experience.
And then on Wednesday, Passive House Accelerator Live has the project of the month. Then you could be in Washington, D.C. with Facades Plus. Then New York Build 2024 begins. That's Wednesday.
On Thermal Thursday, Carbon Leadership Forum Vancouver has a spring social. BC Home and Garden Show begins. If you have time, listen to the Passive House podcast and get caught up on the Unbuild It podcast, now featured on the Build Show.
And I'm going to tell everyone not to go to New York Build. Instead, go listen to Build Science 101 and 201, because 301 is coming out. That's Matt Reisiger, Stephen Basic. Have fun, friends.
Hey, also enjoy Reimagining Building, designed for fire resilience. There you go. That is the 5-day forecast in 55 seconds. We all deserve Phenomenal House Mystery Event. Let us know. Otherwise, build better, build forward, and supercharge your shelter. Just like that, folks. Thanks for coming out for another Sunday episode of the 5-day forecast.
That's right.
Well, gentlemen, how was week 234 as we transition to week 235? And if you don't know what those numbers, folks, we've been doing this week after week after week for the millions and millions of folks that attend. Thanks for joining us.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing. I don't know if you saw it before your very eyes. That app just changed the Stego hat to blue and yellow. I don't know, Mr. and Mrs. App, why you did that. That's kind of wild.
Hey, Mark, you know what? Something else I can't believe I forgot is this Wednesday is actually the 5th anniversary of Global Passive House Happy Hour.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot of maths. That is a lot of maths.
I know. I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to attend the Accelerator Live because that's a good one to show up for.
Lots of Tuesday nights, lots of Wednesday nights. Daytime is rough. If you're worky, then you can't watchy. But nonetheless, I remember the beginning. Prayers and thoughts to go ahead.
Sorry, you know what? Sorry. The 11th was when the world shut down. 12th is when Mr. Monty Paulson called me, and it was the following Wednesday. So sorry everyone, got excited. Next week is the 5-year anniversary.
Well, it's worth talking about because it's been a minute. Awesome how it need for us all to stay connected, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
was awesome.
That's a next week event that we should all look forward to then.
There you go.
Yeah.
Some people will be on spring break.
My Monty Paulson matchbook that I don't use. I don't use that matchbook, but he lit a fire in a lot of us.
Did you ever? Oh, wait a second. I've got backup. Got the backup one. That's the backup one. That's
Climate Ready Buildings Group.
Yeah. And yeah, that one's a little special. The other one has his phone number and email address, so that's fine. Cool, gentlemen. So yeah, how was your week?
Busy, trying to get caught up. This week will be more of trying to get caught up, and the only beautiful thing is the ice is pretty much gone, and that was brutal. Before, anyways, so the ice is pretty much gone. Hopefully, we won't see any random weather events happen, and start getting some of our exterior dialed in and wrapped up.
Nice.
All right, hope you're following along because exciting stuff happening in Grand Manan. Spring is upon Grand Manan.
Yeah, there's a lot of torchy kind of stuff happening over there.
You might say we're fired up.
Ooh.
You guys are blazing. You guys are blazing a new cladding trail.
How does it last? How long does it last for you? Your spring?
Which spring? It depends.
Oh, and I had it ready for you. It depends.
Hey.
I don't know
You're on.
if you saw it, Shaun, and sorry, but Shannon got a one-of-a-kind sign for her hard work that happens to say, "It depends."
That's what it was.
Yep.
Again, I saw the pencils. I didn't know what it was. I wasn't sure if it was Sanderson design or if it was just straight up Shannon, but I like what you did there, Mr. Willie.
Sanderson's sustainable design with Shannon Pendleton would not be a sign that would be a billboard because that is more pencils than this kid has.
And did you get a new shipment? Did you get the millions and millions of pencils that you've requested?
I did not. I did not respond. There's several people that reached out, and
Hey,
that's one of those
just
things that you need to do, but you.
yeah.
Uh-oh, what has he got?
Wow. Look at that.
What has he got?
Well, everyone, bring your pencils to
No,
JLC and give them to
no,
Mark.
no, no,
No?
no, don't. Wait and DM me
Look
and
at
ship them. I cannot carry those pencils.
this. This is what you
I
call
just
red two
well,
in
that's
one.
a good.
How you like that there, big dog?
I
That's
like it. You see,
awesome.
you got
Man.
the one side is like pencil, the other one's carpenter pencil. I like what you did there.
I love it. I love it. Always ready to go.
Gotta be
One
ready.
way or the other.
Yeah,
So
Then you gotta have one of these.
yeah.
sorry, I do something different. When it has to be like that, I break out. You know what's funny is it says number 2, but I would classify this as a number 3. It's the thick guy. I call it a
Ah,
plumber's pencil,
Oh,
but you
gotcha.
could get a really nice tip on that. It doesn't
Yeah.
fit in a pencil sharpening thing. Um, why does it say number 2? It's not a number 2.
probably the lead number 2, right? The lead type.
Yeah, it's the hardness of the lead, right? Ticonderoga. Say that 5 times
Oh
fast.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cuyahoga, Aaron. Cuyahoga. Ticonderoga, Cuyahoga.
Is that a 2B or a 2H or a 2HB?
It's a that's it's a number. See the other one. Oh yeah, this one I've had for a long time. This is the old Husky. Uh, so that kind of, in my mind, proves it's a plumber one. I don't know. People might know Husky for something different today. But yeah, this is really interesting. Here's the actual box. A number 3H.
Wow.
This is a
Okay.
12 number 3H.
Wow.
I feel like you're going for a collector's item with that. You haven't taken it out yet.
Oh
That's
no, no. There's pencils in there, and there's
okay.
pencils been taken out.
Okay.
This box I probably got um, in the late '80s, early
Yeah.
'90s, I would say.
Yeah. Love it.
That's the
Ticonderoga.
big one we had,
Ticonderoga.
you know. It's kind of like the big
What's that?
one in elementary school where you could change the dial to have a larger, you know, pencil, and that's the kind I remember.
Yeah.
You don't remember
In
elementary
preschool,
I
did
school?
you
remember
just
those.
say?
Yeah. Yeah, you switch a setting of what size, pencil you got. So you used to get the real thick ones in elementary school, like that,
Yeah.
like that number
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
In my preschool, we had crayons. They wouldn't dare give us pencils. Uh,
I
we had
have
a church budget. We had a
somewhere.
church budget. Those pencils were saved for I don't know what. We had crayons.
Not this shop, but I used to have one mounted in the shop. You could walk over to it and just
Yeah.
correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do like the plumber's pencil because you put it on your ear, That's very convenient. I
Yeah.
got a,
Look at that. Aaron,
got a,
Mark's got it. He's got 4 of them.
what's
He's
that?
got 4 of them.
Son of a gun.
Awesome.
There we go.
But
Remember that
that's
was
only
on
for
every teacher's
125.
desk?
That is right below the chop saw, so you could have the actual line.
Love it.
That's
Whoa. That's beautiful.
nice.
That's a smart shop right there.
Is that a
Oh,
Delta?
I just changed to hearts. That's kind of
Yeah.
goofy.
Well, yeah. Valentine's Day was last month.
A Delta?
Oh yeah, this is the old Delta. This has never left the shop, Aaron.
Well, you
That's why it's
can
still.
see. Yeah.
I got that with a paper route and lawn cutting
Love it.
money. That's it's good. It's good. It could do most everything you need. Obviously, you finish off the rest by hand, but it's good. Um, yeah.
I can
Reliable.
see him thinking about the memories. There's some memories with that saw.
I'm trying to think of the memories. They're not coming to the surface, but I'm trying to think of the memories.
Well, just how many pencil boards have you made with that saw?
No, no, no. You don't cut pencils with that.
Okay.
Yeah, you. If there needs to be a better way to cut pencils, I'll tell you what I do use, and you're going to get a really big kick out of this. My grandfather bought this one in 1984.
Wow. What's that? I can't tell.
It's the old Sears Craftsman bandsaw.
Oh, gotcha. That's what we're seeing. Love it. Nice. Okay.
That could be used for butchering, right?
Well, depends what he's doing in that shop.
That's what
Luckily,
my
he's just
dad
making pencil boards. It's not a
used
Dexter
to butcher
shop.
here.
It's
I would say it's pretty good, Si. You can run through oak, even up to 3 inch thick. You could run uh Paduke. You could run Purple Heart. Some of those real hard ones, you're limited to the thickness, but it smells like burning, even though it's cutting when it's that hard. It's so interesting. Like it's like someone took wood and put it in your front yard on top of sleepers and put a torch to it. It does smell burning, even though it's cutting. And there's not a lot of flex in a bandsaw. It wants to go pretty straight there.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
that's
it's set
awesome.
up correctly and it's tensioned right and the wheels are in balance, it's pretty good. There's a
Yeah.
reason why you could resaw on them.
Yeah, the
What
height is good.
memory?
The table height comes to here on me, which is pretty good. It's kind of funny. Now that we're there, might as well show you this. New shirt.
Ooh.
I can't tell what it says.
A little pixelated, Mark.
Big and
Biggin.
big
Big
and
it.
Big in what?
That's
when
Something
it. It's
performance
just biggin.
counts.
something performance.
Yeah, when performance counts.
Si, you may have heard Biggin. They're a punk band from way back, and they released a new album, and I got they mailed me a shirt, so I got the new Biggin shirt from back in the day. Biggin Noise. It's so loud that most places when they played had to put up a soundboard over the windows because the windows were known to vibrate out.
Wow,
Discovered
that's
Iggy Pop.
that sounds pretty awesome.
I said I heard they discovered Iggy Pop.
Cool. I'm glad that Mark can't see the peanut gallery because he's getting lit up right now.
Keep it official, like a referee with the whistle.
Tweet, tweet.
Right, it's awesome.
Awesome.
Well, if I can get back to the job site, I got an element of surprise for you all.
What? Well,
Yeah,
I will wait.
yeah,
How far out are you? Since you're out on a road
yes,
trip.
I am.
Beep beep.
Yeah, somewhere in Texas takes like at least an hour to get somewhere in Texas.
Okay. All right, I know this. You're on the east side of Houston. You're trying to go to the west side, and we'll see you in an hour.
Right.
I remember Michael Ingwe and Shaun and I drove from San Antonio to Houston, and we saw Houston, and an hour later we saw Houston, and an hour later we were still trying to get to our stop in Houston.
Yep.
What a bunch of sprawl, a bunch of holy sprawl.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, if you look at like Harris County, it it is outside of the downtown in some counties. Some areas or little cities are part of it. It's like 5 million people. It's a lot of people, and
Yeah.
For all of you who are trying to send Mark pencils, reach out to Mark. He will happily give you an address to send pencils.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a big need. There's a big need. There's a high demand, and more people. I think being in such a lot of people in such a kind of a large radius, but still considered Houston is I think you got more people that are willing or wanting high performance than maybe lesser populated areas. I'd say, at least as we're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I think Mr. Mark Willie's work he's doing there with Mr. Reisinger is helping a lot, create a lot of great awareness. Build, that's right. It looks like blood,
Yeah.
backwards.
Yeah.
How you,
When we flip it, it'll work out.
yeah.
Fine.
It is funny how the camera is reversed.
Well,
yeah, that's interesting. So I wonder if it turns out right when you flip the camera, then you could probably read it.
Yeah. When it airs, it's fine.
No, when I do the 5-day forecast, I have to flip it in my editing tool. Yeah, in my editing tool, I flip it.
Oh.
So when I post the live, it's like this, and then when I do the reel in my editing, I flip it.
That's so weird because I never remember it being flipped when we aired it before. Is that right?
We did a lot of different editing over the years, man. This is a lot more streamlined than the hours and hours we took to get this info out to the world.
So how's all the retrofits going now? The high performance retros.
Well, this project you're going to see tomorrow, guys. The new wood has arrived. The new columns and beams arrived, and they threw up the beams in one day. It's gorgeous, fast and efficient when you got a crane and 3 skilled guys and a super who knows the tricks to put beams and columns together. So
is this mass timber?
Yeah. So the building is 100-year-old, which is pretty young for Vancouver, and it's got 3 floors of old mass timber. So the columns and beams are original 24 inches by 24-inch Douglas fir.
Whoa.
They are beautiful. And then the new ones actually were made in Edmonton at Western Archery, which I didn't know, how busy they are. But so the columns and beams, their glulam came from them, and the NLT came from Kinsall in their shop in Vancouver Island, and just all coming together.
That's awesome, man.
Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this one's got 3 more floors of brand new NLT, and then we've got our good friends JF from Blackcomb Glass is doing all of our glazing on those new floors. So it's pretty cool to see how the architect slid in high performance. And I was like, oh, you're talking my language.
I like a different.
Don't talk about it, just do it.
I like Thomas for that work. I think we need to bring Thomas in for that kind of work.
Thomas is on my other job, which is pretty cool. It's our other retrofit where we've built a new addition to a building out at UBC, but we've had to tie in the old district energy service to it, which is pretty cool. And so Thomas and his company is doing all the cladding for that. So
No.
yeah. Yeah.
Not the glazing, they're doing the cladding.
Cladding and the glazing. They're doing all of the scope work. So literally from air barrier or W bear outwards, they're managing the entire thing. And I'm going to go check out a shop on Wednesday. So some fun tours happening.
That's actually
That's
really good for sequencing when you can have the glazer and the cladder work together. Like anything that's going on with your envelope, it's all in-house and together. That's the
Doing all the control layers, doing all the flashing, doing all the exterior work and the glazing. It's one person manage it because we will be doing the red door truth on this one, and so we got to hit a pretty good score. And it's tough, like when you're doing additions, having to manage the that test, and so we'll see how that works out. But we're trying to hit passive levels of air tightness on that 7-story addition.
Wow. So this is a multifamily?
No, that one. So the one at UBC is an additional office space for the school. So it's their. It's actually the Biodiversity Museum has got 110-foot skull of a blue whale.
Wow.
It's pretty cool, and we built on the extension of it.
Dude, that's
So
amazing.
the structure of the building is a skull of a whale. That's the structure. That's engineered.
Yeah. So if you're ever to UBC, go to the Biodiversity Museum. You're going to see the museum of all the skulls of every animal that's pretty much created on this planet. And then beside that is a brand new 7-story office tower and teaching facility. Then it's tied into another building that was the original. So it's a pretty cool campus just for that particular study.
Did I hear it right though that the whale skull is used as the structure of the building?
Oh, no, sorry. No, sorry. The structure was built to make sure that it could hold up because, of course, the roof of the building is creating that, whale to just float in the air.
And the blowhole of the whale is the skylight?
Yes, exactly.
it's bucks. It's okay.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine how much oil they pulled out of said whale? How tall is the whale's skull? Can you tell me that again?
It's 110 feet.
That's
So
insane.
literally just imagine a train, like a B train, right? That skull was that size. And so the hull of that whale was easily, again, a train worth of oil.
Probably more than that.
But again, imagine the sucker that had to again go in it with his little spoon and bucket and fish it out and grab the bucket to the buddy and he would haul it out like I'm sure there was oil and puke in that mix and still they would lit up the East Coast, right?
That's
Like
wild.
the how do you move it? How do you collect it? How do you deal with the stank? Like there's just so many construction is so easy, like compared to whale stuff. Like all we have to do with it is air barriers and fans and cladding. These whale people, they had real issues.
Yeah, there's a good movie. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was like the new modern day Moby Dick movie, but there's something where you see them, harpoon the whale, pull the whale beside the boat, cut it open. The guy goes in with a ladder and a bucket, and he's pulling out the buckets and buckets of oil. And you're just like, that's what they did, right?
Wow.
I mean, coming back to this building we're working on, we're all worried about water management issues on this current build, but you think of when they built this building 100 years ago, water was just pouring in between these NLT floor decks, and eventually it dried out, and 100 years later we're trying to keep it dry again. It's just fascinating, like just what we used to do, what we, like there's no crane lifting up these big beams, so you just think of the pulley systems and the oxens to just get these solid, again, 24-inch by 24-inch, 40-foot Douglas fir beams and columns in place. Like the even the structure, like the metal brackets that these are holding on, I mean, they're overkill because there's no value engineering. It's like, oh, this is the extra metal that came off of that steel thing down the road. We'll clank it together and put on here and hold the next beam, right? Like it's beautiful, fascinating work that we're involved in.
This
So
it's available that we know will work.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. And then 100 years later, the engineer's like, yeah, that still works. It's still 10x the load. We can still redo it. Don't even worry about adding on. It works. Move on to the next floor.
I can't wait for you to do a project with Ian William Robertson.
We're gonna have lunch pretty soon because I missed him. I saw him at BuildX for like a split second. He was going one way, I was going one way, and I was like, I need a photo of you just to make sure you and I know we were here.
He's one of the few human beings that understands each of the mass timber layers. 6 flavors of mass timber was his OG presentation of 434 slides in 18 minutes. And it was really epic. 6 flavors of mass timber, none of which included CLT on one project.
Yeah. Construction Tech episode number 7, folks. Go back to the archives. It's a beauty.
Number 3, or it could have been 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. You think it's 7?
It's 7.
Okay. There was
you were supposed to be 2. You got bumped to 5. We put in some fillers. Actually, you know what, Daryl? Remember Daryl? He was episode number 1. I got to see him last week at BuildX. He's on Passinos number 4 up in Kamloops. Great
it's the funniest thing. I always hear these announcements. We're here with Daryl, and then Daryl's not there. We're here with Daryl.
No, it's a different Daryl. This is Daryl from Kamloops, not Daryl the carpenter.
This is Daryl, but you could call him D.
Yeah, that's another guy too.
All right, Cy, what do you got to show us?
Yeah, just a little element of surprise, you know.
He's looking for
Close your eyes,
tree
folks.
in the woods, a.k.a.
walking through
Porta John.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, today on 5-Day Forecast, we are portaging, and as it turns out, 70% of Canadians live south of the 49th parallel.
Let's see what we got.
Whoa.
There it is.
There you go. I see a white sweater. That's all I'm seeing here.
You don't see that element?
That sweater would serve you well if you had to face the elements.
Oh, there's a good tagline. Trademark that.
This is right out of your country there, Canada.
Element ICF by logic. So,
there you go.
How thick is the outer and inner and middle side? Give us a there. What's the sizing?
So this is a 2.75 inches. That's 2 3/4.
That's
I only know metric.
Polystyrene, the lowest global warming potential of any foam, in case you're a nut job.
Yeah. Yes. Look at that. 2 3/4 inch.
2 3/4 of APS. So do the math. Got it.
Hold on. I have to convert. I got to convert.
Add another 2 3/4.
Yeah, but that's on a different size of the mass, okay? And what's the space in between?
Got 2. Inside out.
And
look how thick
what's the space in between, Si? What's the width in between? The void.
Got a 6-inch core.
Six
So
inches of air barrier, 6 inches of thermal mass,
That's right.
six, 6 inches of insulated concrete form.
Yep. Exactly. It's big
So
for
yeah,
all
stuff.
of us, and so as you're doing that, I know you're not seeing this, but I'm providing the metric conversion for all of our non-American friends that are following along, all the millions and millions of followers. So you continue on, and I will be your
yep.
converter.
5.5 inches, right? 2 3/4 times 2 plus 6 inches is less than 12 inches. You might say it's 11.5 inches.
Right. It is 11.5 inches. You're right. And, when we put it in movie, we have to, say that it only allows us to do just what the actual insulation material is, but it performs like, with that concrete and the thermal mass in it. Some people say it performs like it's a R50, but, you can only calculate it the way you can and put it in modeled that way.
I guess that also depends on how cold it is outside for what duration, because your thermal mass will change as we go. But we're talking Texas here,
Yeah.
so you could say R50 and no one can ever argue with you, because only 3 days a year is that concrete ever going to attempt to get a little chill.
Yeah. Check this out. That's the Pro Buck, baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty wicked,
oh,
awesome.
that is really cool.
So
You got
before
absolutely.
we had to rig those with whatever 2 by scrappages we had. Look at that,
That is
Yeah.
baby.
that is smart.
This
SMOT.
Stick that right in the side of the wall. Got
Wow, I have never thought
complete.
about that before. That did did
Yeah,
Aaron, on
just
your
goes in
last
like
build, did you
this.
do that, or did you just do wood?
I've
Right.
built my own similar to that to give myself a thermal break, and it's time consuming. Uh, yeah,
Oh
being
yeah.
able to order that is slicker. The last one I did, I used the pre-buck on from New Jura,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
it's a good system, but some people will
here.
argue once you get in the neighborhood of 9 inches of wood, you've got a thermal break, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, still conducts
Yeah.
heat and energy,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's
It.
That's
so much
slick.
Yeah.
kudos to
This.
you on that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. It's a lot of work. You're right, though. The crimping and all this here. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to really be a carpentry type work. Not fine. I'm just saying you got to really do it right, and so that your rough opening is precise, plumb, and all that. You want it to be. We pulled string lines on headers and stuff just to make sure that, because the wood is obviously never really perfect or straight, and
Who
we
says that?
mark it.
Who
Look
says
at
that, Si? I
I know,
want to talk to that grader.
I know. Like we'll do a crowfoot on this part and here just to make sure that we start with the top, and we'll connect these. We'll do obviously the top, the sides, then we'll do the verticals, and we make sure that we get them perfect. And then as we come down and put each of these braces in here, we have to adjust everything just to make sure it's perfect.
Wow.
So not, well, I mean, this project we're the subcontractor, we're not the entire builder on it, but we know as a builder, like, you got to give a product that is going to work for all the other trades. You can't just leave. You can't just do your subcontractor job, leave and just act like it's all over. You got to think about everybody that's coming after you. Look at this bad boy. This is
That's
like a 15-foot wide, 3-panel lift slides.
wow, but this is gorgeous. I'm glad we waited for this.
I
This is more than a surprise.
appreciate you waiting. Yeah,
This is incredible.
Is
yeah, and
is the folks at Element Logic, are they coming down to capture this? This thing is
Yeah.
bonkers. It's beautiful.
this, yeah, this floor is, I think, 5,000 square feet, and the second floor will be another 2,000. So it's like a 7,000 square foot home.
Wow.
Yeah. So right here is where it transitions. So we got a 10-foot wall here. So we got the bracing going up. And then over here, we'll have a
Man, it's clean.
15
You
and a half
guys
foot
got it
wall.
organized. This is looking
Yeah.
brilliant, Si. I'll come work on your job
Here.
any day.
Well, the problem is like the builder took away the dumpster on Friday. We thought they were like yanking it just to swap it out. And they never came back. I was like, dude, we're working Saturday and Sunday. Look, and we're starting to like get a mess everywhere. It's like, so we're trying to keep it like.
Well, you're organized. You guys have a plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm sure you've seen and been and heard anywhere like in Texas is like a swampland. So I mean, we got our telehandler stuck at one point and had to have it yanked out with a
Yeah,
wrecker.
you got to dump like 7, 8 inches of mulch there just to be able to sustain workability.
Yeah, yeah, it's so challenging. Like almost every building pad has to be brought up with select engineered fill, and usually you have to come like at least like a 30 inches of select fill on a lot of scenarios. Yeah, this house I think is so big and spread out that they had to do piers under all of it. I think there's like 100+ piers.
Wow.
So, but really cool about this owner, there's going to be a workshop back here that they want to do at ICCF Perfect Block, but I think he's going to change his mind and maybe just go with the Element.
Yeah,
But
pretty much all that perfect block is already set aside for California, from what I'm told.
it's what?
Set aside for the California
Oh,
builds because so
all
many of
that
the
perfect.
people are requiring that now based on what just happened.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, it's interesting enough here. There's like many corners. It's kind of hard to see, but you've got 1, 2, 3. Then you go down this one, you got another 4 or 5 corners. So there's a lot of corners in this, and this is the primary bedroom. And in the primary bedroom, that'll be like a 10-foot ceiling in there. But right here is where it jumps up to another 15, and we're going to create an entire, basically a wall that'll be supported by its own self with the lintels. We got some 30-inch stirrups and stuff. So we'll have an ICF wall spanning all the way across corner to corner here.
Such a quiet house when that's said and done. I mean, the air tightness is out of control. I would encourage all architects to stop at the corners like you did with bay windows.
Yeah.
Did you say 30-inch stirrup?
Yeah, we're doing a 30-inch stirrup. Yeah, it's pretty wild. We got like even above these garage doors, we got 2 garage. One is an 8. This is going to be an 18 wide. And this will be a 9 wide. We're doing 2 number bar 6 at the bottom of the 30-inch stirrups here, all the way across.
Yeah.
Doing on top of the stirrups will be 2 number 4 bars going across.
Wow.
So I'm in the garage, and they wanted to do the garage as part of the conditioned space, which doesn't normally always happen like that, you know. So they've got some very high performing overhead doors that they're highly insulated.
Yeah.
Apparently has a really good seal in it. And so I don't remember what the name of them are, but it's going to be pretty cool to see how that works out. I don't know if you all know Jesse Hunt, right? In Houston. Yeah, he's a CHC on this, but the owner did the woofie, so Jesse did the woofie for him, but he did not want to do any kind of like certification or anything like that. So it's like, well, at least you're doing it.
If you're working with you and Jesse, you don't really have to worry about the certification, right? You're getting your performance metrics. What's the window? Who's the glazing supplier?
You know, interestingly, we didn't have an opportunity really to, you know, I guess have the conversation with them on windows. I know Jesse did. The glazing is, I don't know if you all will be happy with that or not. Let's get this out of the way. So here's a picture of it. Interestingly, it's like deceivingly, it doesn't look as big as what
It will
it
be.
is, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of deceiving.
Oh.
But where
It's
is it?
pretty.
Here, yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
fella.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what kind of window it is?
It's probably the
Pella.
Impervia. Oh, the
This one says
Reserve. Okay.
I'm not
Yep.
that familiar with these windows.
That's an
So
aesthetic choice.
yeah, it appears to be. But I think the good thing they did was they got a lot of fixed windows, so that at least will at least keep the air barrier. At least if they do the air barrier properly enough when they seal it, should be good.
So where do you find the window being placed in the ICF depth? Where is that going to be? Middle?
Believe it or not, they're putting it right there, right on the outside, right on the outside. So they'll come with nail fins on them, you know.
Yeah.
They'll have, I mean, you know, everyone has a certain preference, I guess. And yeah, I mean, they'll have a nice deep window well, you know.
Yeah,
So if you look,
on the inside. Yeah. Look at
yeah, and
that.
whoever's so Pella would be installing it, and they'll just screw off right to that stud right there,
Yeah.
and
Nice.
then they can like flash over them pretty easily. So it should be a pretty good seal.
Then it
I think.
looks like it's a stucco finish on this house. So
Yeah, they have actually, you know, they went with a lot of dollars on this one, and I think they're going with stone. So
I
like,
think
there's a
it
lot of
was
brick.
stone two stucco if I saw the rendering right.
Yeah, let's see. The rendering I think has changed. Oh, it's a Hardy. That's a Hardy.
Okay.
This looks brick, but apparently it's supposed to be natural stone. So
Got it.
they're going for. I mean, you know, you don't see too many people doing natural stone often, but and it's quite costly. They're certainly doing an envelope that is going to be durable and resilient. It's going to last many, many years.
100%. It's a
Many
castle.
beyond, yeah, many beyond your traditional build. So
Yeah. Yeah. The only time you're going to hear something from the outside is if the door's open or you stand by a window. The rest of it, you could put a shooting gallery inside or outside. It's not going to matter who much.
Exactly.
yeah,
Mark,
yeah,
where are you?
The
yeah.
5-day forecast.
This is what Texas is about here. That's what it's all about in Texas, right there. Have you guys been
I
there?
don't know. I'm a Pateris guy. I'm a
Hey,
Pateris guy.
hey,
Oh,
you know,
we did.
Pete Terry's is really in Austin. I don't know, like they don't really have that many in Houston. You know, if I love Pete Terry's, but let's see here. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see like the house just goes way back that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking
And the second
awesome.
Well,
All right, you guys, let's all go to Houston next week
all right.
and broadcast live from the construction site West Side.
Yeah. He's
Road trip.
going to order some Whataburgers,
yeah,
and then we're good.
that's
I
right.
want double French fry.
Hey,
Hey, do they serve poutine?
we'll get double French fry. Big Dog, do you do a lot of stuff similar when you do your Nudura? You do like do you cut a bunch of pieces of plywood for
Yeah.
band-aids and
So
for
yeah,
your
it's a lot blinding. a lot of times I'll just use like full sheets,
yeah.
and then I'll use those sheets on like a shear wall or for backing, uh, stuff like that. And that's old habits that I picked up like 20 years ago.
Grows up
We
there.
we used to put like a folded, like a corner, like a full-on plywood corner on the outside to help with
Oh, really?
bracing and like that. But that was
Yeah.
like the blowing agents of the foam weren't as good. You didn't have the EPS didn't bond the same way it does now. Like there's so many improvements in the ICF industry. It's just unbelievable. I could do that. I could use strapping, but I'm still old school that way. I like to put a big piece of ply or a big piece of OSB. As long as it gets reused, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
had
Stack joint.
earlier
Doesn't tell
for
what's-
the millions of people who didn't know what a stirrup was, because we were talking about a 30-inch stirrup. And, just go back in the video. I had it up earlier. It was a little sketch. But basically, it's a piece of 10M or half-inch rebar that you will bend into a giant hook, and it will basically support the lintel inside the concrete over top of an opening. So you've got your top bar that runs across, and that will connect down to typically a larger piece of rebar that will be a few inches above the bottom of whatever your opening is. And so I was talking about a 30-inch stirrup.
There you go. There's parts of the rebar.
Heard of that on a residential build. So very cool that you're doing a 30-inch stirrup.
Totally.
Yeah, they're right there. There they are. So
I
you're
want
right.
to put a disclaimer outside. Do not call the four of us if you want to take down this building. We are not interested.
Yeah.
Whoa, time out. There's a small caveat on this. Are we allowed to use explosives? How big of equipment can we have? That's the only way I'm interested in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good question. You can use
We'll
whatever you
join
want.
Steve. Yeah, we'll join Steve at the next mining equipment show. Bring in some of those big guys. Call Hewitt, put him on the train, deliver him down there, and we'll test it out.
Yeah. So I think, just with the way a lot of natural disasters and stuff has been occurring, and I think if I were to build, I think I would probably go this route, and even put like a concrete lid on it, an ICF concrete lid on it. It's interesting because I might have showed a video at one point where we're unloading one of the tractor trailers of ICF, and if you
Yeah.
look at on the deck, they just there's like these little balls that are like sand grit that they throw out on the deck when they load the truck, so that you can just like slide these off. You can just slide them off, and they'll just roll on these little beads, like they're like tiny little beads.
Yeah.
But what they are, pellets that they use to put in the mold, and then they put that hot steam water, and they expand into those little dots there. So people don't realize that this is like 90 something percent air, and so there's
Yeah.
Right.
so little material used here. I think it's why also, Mark, like you were saying, I think that relates to why it's like has a lower embodied energy in it.
Warming potential.
That's right.
Yeah.
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 Hey, do any of you know the strongest closed cell spray foam there is? Is that measurable in a PSI?
Ooh, that's a good
I'm
question.
sure it would be. Yeah.
Wow, that's a wild question, man. I off the top of my head.
It's like I wonder if somehow we're able to use that inside of an ICF form one day. Like this is getting
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit out there, but talk about changing values and going back to what's that guy in New York that used to do the ICF walls panelized? He used to pre-make them panelized. You know him, Si, the Passive House guy.
The New Yorker dude. I thought he stopped doing it anymore.
He
Steve,
did.
is this
He did.
Steve?
Steve Bluestone. He
That's it.
he did all their developments because they had spatial concern. They panelized their ICF walls and brought them out because they they didn't have the working space that Cy has right there, which is unique. But man, like, what can we do? Like, Superior Walls, their concrete mix is maybe 6,000 psi, right?
Wow.
It's a ridiculous number. So I don't know. There's a brainiac out there. Extrapolate on that thought for us.
Well,
Uh,
what I do know is two things. I know two things. One, there's definitely a PSI rating that you can get because we can
Yep.
get PSI for XPS, all other stuff. I've
Yep.
done stuff commercial with, 120 pounds, so that a crane can come in and park in the middle of the pad, do tilt
Yep.
up. The other thing I know is there is a thing called ultra high performance concrete, which is capable of even higher
yep.
PSIs than the stuff we use on a regular basis. And they'll use like steel fiber or carbon fiber in the mix to even bump that even further.
Yeah.
So maybe someday we can look at going with like, I don't know, 8 inches of XPS outboard, 8 inches of XPS inboard with like a 2-inch core that will meet that requirement.
Yeah, this is really interesting when you think about it. The tunnels and the bridges are actually stacked EPS
Yep.
blocks, and those do have a tremendous PSI. All the passive house sustainable folks are like cringing right now that I'm mentioning foam again and again. But if something is there for 300 years, it's a different story.
Yeah.
So you can argue, but every time you argue, you're also arguing.
100%. 100%.
I,
Durability trumps everything. You can build the greenest, most carbon friendly building in the world. And if in 7 years you have to throw it in a dumpster,
yeah.
you saved nothing.
That being said, all of us like natural materials. We're all wood freaks, but if we don't push ourselves out of the comfort zone, we'll always be drinking shitty coffee. What do you
Yeah.
got, Aaron? What is that?
So, speaking of sustainability and reusing stuff, this is from 1620 Workwear, and they made a little tool roll. What do you think they made the tool roll out of?
It's hard to tell. I can't see
I
it very
think
well.
it's leftover jean stock from the pants they make.
Yeah.
All the hem ends, when they hem a pair of pants, they custom hem every order. They save them and they make cool little things like this, so they don't go to waste. I got to put
Awesome.
pictures of stuff in this, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Nice.
It's funny you say that because I got an apron from Simpson, and I was like, I wonder if somehow we could get material from Strauss or something to make these.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I have got to run. Unfortunately, I have to feed the, and I have another engagement this evening.
You do.
All
Does,
kinds of Mr.
does
Big Dog.
Gina know you're getting engaged?
No. No. Engagement. Another engagement.
Side.
Well, my friend, our good friend from Saskatchewan did send me the package, so it did arrive. It did
Oh
arrive.
yeah, from Justin.
Yeah.
Sai, that's a great job site.
Yeah.
Probably our best job site walkthrough on a Sunday yet. If you're not following Uber Green, you're wrong, and you better do that. Their EPS are scratch and sniff. So later on, when you go visit the site, if you want to smell Houston, you just go like this, and that's it. Because you're never going to get outside air into that building again without a scratch and sniff EPS block.
That's right.
Mark, and I love too how you said, a 6-inch layer of air barrier. I'm gonna borrow that line. That was good.
That's
That was
true.
good.
That is true.
All right, gentlemen. Enjoy your week, everyone else. The millions and millions of you following. Have a good week. See you next week.